Hello everybody, welcome to my live. Since I haven't been posting videos and only making scratch games this week, we'll be doing a pretty long live. Let me just find my charger real quick. Hopefully not land any of my cables in the water. Yeah, was everywhere. I'm gonna invite my friend real quick. I'm gonna get rid of that tab. And if he comes, I guess. Okay, let's put this tab up. There we go. Corporate Tom.
Predatory pricing, tax evasion explained for kids.
Watch.
Imagine you're a 10-year-old boy who loves nothing more than Halloween. You dress up as your favorite YouTuber to go trick-or-treating, working your backside off to collect a mountain of candy from your neighbors. But when you get home, there's a problem. Your mum, the tax man, says you have to share your candy income with your little brother, Society, who was too scared to go out. She calls this tax. You call this socialism. You come up with a plan for justice. You tell your mum that you gave away all your candy to hungry children. I mean, you're a hungry child, so kinda true. You tell your brother you didn't forget about him and give him a single piece of licorice. No one likes licorice. You hide the rest of your candy under your bed, secretly eating it at night. You now know the secrets of tax evasion, predatory pricing explained for kids. It's a scorcher of a summer, and you're an 11-year-old with a burning desire to snag the latest Pokemon game. You decide to start a local lawn mowing business charging $10 a lawn. But your rival Joe, who couldn't come up with an original idea if it hit him with a Pokeball, copies your business model charging just $5 a lawn. Rude! The neighbors flock to Joe like Pidgeys to breadcrumbs, leaving you as deserted as a gym without a Pokemon trainer. You will not let Joe get away with this. You blitz the neighborhood, offering to mow lawns for a ludicrous $2 each. Joe thinks you're completely mental for mowing lawns so cheap, but after a week of no customers, he quits the game. Your neighbors sell their lawnmowers because why would they need them anymore? You hike your price to $20 a lawn. With no competition or mowers, your customers have no choice but to pay. You caught them all, and that's predator organ harvesting explained for kids. Imagine you have a brother named Joe. He has a fantastic toy, but he's a bit of a jerk and never shares. You have a similar toy, but it's broken and can't be fixed. You wish you had a working toy, and Joe doesn't even seem to appreciate his. You think Joe doesn't deserve to have a working toy as much as you do. One night while Joe is sleeping, you sneak into his room and take his working toy. Justice! But what if you didn't need his toy at all because your toy actually works fine? Then you might want to give away his toy to someone who actually needs it and would be grateful. That sounds nice, right? And maybe they'd even pay you some money for it as thanks. That sounds even better, right? But that's not quite everything. What if Joe was not your brother, but a stranger? And what if he wasn't actually sleeping, but awake and scared? And what if his toy was not actually a toy, but his left kidney? I mean, it's basically the same thing. And that's organ harvesting. Coercive control explained for kids. Imagine you're an 11-year-old girl whose mum happens to be a teacher at your school. You have a brilliant idea. Use your mum's laptop to access the school's online portal and get all the homework answers. You tell a friend you can help him with his homework for a mere candy bar. At first, he's skeptical of your claim, but once you show him the proof, he tells the whole school. Soon you have dozens of customers who will pay you in sweets and snacks to do their homework for them. They think they're getting a great deal. As the school year goes on, your customers realize they haven't learned anything and are utterly incapable of doing their own homework. They have become completely dependent on your services. Suddenly, a chocolate bar just ain't gonna cut it. Maybe you want a massage, maybe you want a personal assistant, or maybe you want a new grill, and they have no choice but to obey your every command until they graduate. And that's coercive control. OnlyFans explained for kids. When a mummy and a daddy love each other very much, they give each other special hugs. That's what makes champions like you, matey. Sometimes daddies are naughty and want special hugs from other mummies. Usually, these naughty daddies struggle to find other mummies to give them hugs. So what do these daddies do? Well, they turn to OnlyFans, which is like an online mummy store. Here they hope to find mummies who will give them online hugs. We call these naughty daddies simps. These online mummies know the simps are desperate and pathetic losers who will pay them for online hugs. We call these clever online mummies entrepreneurs. Sometimes the simp gets bored of online hugs and wants something more. He pays the entrepreneur extra money to send him her used clothes, socks, or underwear. We call these simps degenerates. And that's OnlyFans explained for kids. Blackmail explained for kids. Imagine you're a 10-year-old boy who's always dreamed of becoming the star of your school's soccer team. You want to be an attacking winger like your idol Messi, but your coach assigns you the role of water boy, lugging around bottles and towels for other players. This enrages you. Since you never get to touch the ball at practice, you linger around and catch a glimpse of the married coach locking lips with the janitor under the bleachers. You slyly snap a photo and think to yourself, "Go!" When you get home, you send an email to the soccer coach demanding that you be the winger in the next game, or else his wife will get a nasty surprise in her inbox. And it's not a secret recipe for grandma's cookies. Attach the photo. The next day at practice, the coach tells you that you're playing as attacking winger. You tell him to go fetch you some water and a towel. And that's blackmail explained for insider trading explained for kids. Imagine you're a 12-year-old boy who decides to join the school's trading card club, where kids buy and sell cards of their favorite superheroes. Some cards for popular characters are worth a lot of money, while others, not so much. Luckily for you, matey, your uncle works at Marvel Studios and lets you in on a little secret. They're making a movie about a rather unknown character called Doorman, the superhero who can walk through closed doors? No one knows about Doorman yet, so his cards are dirt cheap. You act fast. You buy up every Doorman card you can find and end up with a locker full of possibilities. 1 week later, Marvel drops the Doorman movie trailer, and you're the owner of the hottest cards in town. You sell them to the highest bidder, making yourself a fortune and opening up many doors for your future. And that's insider trading explained for kids. Imagine you're a 12-year-old boy who decides to join the school's trading card club, where kids buy and sell cards of their favorite. How to start a cult explained for kids.
Oh my goodness.
Imagine you're an 11-year-old boy who just wants to be popular. You try to join the cool kids at school, but they just call you stupid. This makes you angry. Very, very angry. You spend that night hatching a cunning plan to get revenge. The next day, you tell the popular kids that you've been visited by a cosmic entity who blessed you last night and named you as its chosen one. If they doubt you, tell them the godly figure gave you magical powers, which you then show off with a dumb card trick. Once they're completely awestruck, tell them the godly figure has instructions, and if they don't follow them, the sock will visit them at night. Then they'll do whatever you want, such as your homework, a massage, or even get them to shave their eyebrows. And that's how to start a cult explained. Ponzi schemes explained for kids. Imagine you're a 12-year-old girl who wants nothing more than a new iPhone, but you're dirt broke. You hatch a genius plan. Make some jewelry and sell it on Etsy. You tell a friend you need $50 for supplies. She's reluctant, but hands you over the cash once you promise to pay her back $75 in a week. Word spreads around school, and soon you have $200 more from other suckers. A week later, you haven't made any jewelry, but your friend wants her money back. You tell her the Etsy store is booming and pay her back even more than you originally promised. The whole school hears about your amazing returns and they want in. You take your money, pay the previous investors, and then tell more people who then invest more money. Once you run out of new investors and the existing ones want their money, simply fake your death, hop on a plane to non-extradition Cuba, and buy yourself that iPhone. And that's Ponzi schemes explained for kids. The office Christmas party is a great way to relax, unwind, and most of all, get dirt on your colleagues. Make sure to wear some festive eyewear with a camera in them. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, then irrefutable video evidence is worth $1,000. You need to go to the one magical place where most of the scandals happen, the toilets. You might catch your co-workers popping pills, spewing their guts out, or if you're really lucky, a steamy affair between your boss and his assistant. The trick is to wait until you hear any noises in the toilets that are out of the ordinary. Then barge in and say, "Is everything okay in here?" That makes you seem like a concerned colleague instead of a weirdo creep. Tonight's mess is tomorrow's success. The office Christmas party is a great way to... Mirror, mirror on the wall, who deserves the biggest salary bonus of all? Why, you do, you beautiful, beautiful man. And how do I maximize my bonus? What you need to understand is that bonuses are like a big pie. The bigger the slice your team takes, the less there is for you. Create the narrative that the only reason your team has been able to meet their goals is thanks to your hard work and leadership, despite you having to deal with the most lazy and incompetent bunch of losers ever. So I take credit for all their achievements and blame them for my failures. Exactly. That way you get the lion's share of the pie and your team gets the crumbs. When it comes to deliver the bad news to the team, make sure to act as angry and disappointed as they are. Really? No bonus again? Yeah, I know. They really screwed us again this year. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who deserves... I have an apology to make. Recently, my company Toxico released an augmented reality app called Bias Buster. This is an app that lets you see everyone as equal by making them look like me, a white male. Because let's be honest, people like me have a lot of power and privilege in society, and we don't have to deal with the discrimination and oppression that others have to face. Thankfully, some activists have come forward and called me out for being a racist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic bigot who is reinforcing the patriarchy and erasing the diversity of every human being on the face of the earth. I now see how there might have been some bad optics with the app, which is why I'm so excited to be announcing the release of Bias Buster version 2. Finally, you're no longer limited to white males. You can bust biases any way you want to.
Asian female, Blanca from Street Fighter. White male but old, sock puppet.
I have an apology to make.
What the heck?
I treat people differently based on how they look, and I can't help it. But the thing is, you do the same. Are you tired of working in a dull office and dream of working in a tropical paradise? Here's how you can do it in 3 easy steps. Step 1. Use a virtual background of a beach or a jungle in your video meetings. Wear sunglasses and a funky hat. Your co-workers will think you're quirky. Step 2. Show up to the office a couple days a week as per normal. Say hi to your boss and co-workers. Pretend you care about their boring lives. Step 3. Make up a long list of excuses as to why you can't come into the office. Be creative and unpredictable by using a mix of planned and unplanned excuses. For example,
I have a dentist appointment. My grandmother got arrested. My dog ate my car battery. My grandmother escaped from jail.
are you tired of working in a dull office?
My
been stuck in the
grandmother
same
escaped
dead-end-
from jail. That ain't the right jail. My grandmother escaped from jail, bro.
How you get the raise that you deserve without having to do any real work. Step 1. Copy your current job description and paste it into ChatGPT with the prompt, please write a similar job description except for company XXX, where XXX is one of your company's competitors. Add in any benefits that you want but are currently missing in your role, such as flexible hours, free snacks, or company car. And finally, add a line about salary. State a figure 60 to 80% more than what you're currently earning. Rinse and repeat so you have 2 competitor resumes. Step 2, sign up for a job search engine as a recruiter and post these 2 jobs. This will set you back about $300 a role. Step 3, go to your boss and tell them that you love your job but you feel a bit underappreciated. Then send in the link to the 2 new jobs you've created and ask him to match the benefits and salaries. Here's the best bit. These made-up jobs look so good your boss might go and apply for one himself. And once you hire him, guess whose role you can take? And that's how you get the raise that you deserve. Doing your job well is the worst career mistake anyone can make. I keep hearing the same thing again and again from my proteges. Tom, I'm so sick of working hard. It's all too much for me. I'm going to start slacking off. This is a social virus going around called quiet quitting, where workers start doing the bare minimum of their job. And you know what I tell people who think it's okay to quiet quit? I tell them that's pathetic. Have some self-respect. You need to be more ambitious. What sort of weak, pathetic, simple-minded person does the bare minimum of a job when you could be using that time to find a second job where you also do the bare minimum and save up money to retire early? Don't quit, double dip. I keep hearing the same thing.
Oh, yay.
Money laundering explained for kids. Imagine you're an 11-year-old boy who wants nothing more than a PlayStation 5. You try to set up a lemonade stand in front of your house, but after a day you've only sold 1 glass. You think of a better idea. Creating a fundraiser for a charity called Children in Need. Little do your patrons know, the only child in need is you, matey, and you're in need of a PlayStation. You go around knocking on doors and collecting donations and soon you have enough cash. But there's a problem. If you buy your PS5 now, Mum's gonna say, how did you afford that? And you know how she gets about charity fraud. You need to wash your dirty money. Remember the lemonade stand? You set it up again. This time, it doesn't matter how many customers you've got because you can just buy your own lemonade. At the end of the day, you tell your mum you sold 100 glasses of lemonade. She takes you to the store and boom, PS5 time, baby. Money laundering explained for kids. Imagine you're an 11-year-old boy who wants nothing. Being a corporate manager gives you a fantastic superpower, the power to delegate work. As a manager, you've earned the right to give away the work you don't want to do, but it's all about how you position it. The harder the bit of work, the more you can disguise it as being an upskilling exercise for your team. That way, when you dump the work you don't want to do on them, you're actually doing them a favor. Make sure that any work you have that's quite easy to do and has good visibility with management, you keep for yourself. You want your team to still think you're hands-on, even if you're just trying to hog the spotlight. Well, Joe, we've got 2 bits of work we need to get done this week. Project Petting Bunnies and Project Drink from the Poison Chalice. So you'll put me on Project Petting Bunnies, right? Drink up, matey. Being a corporate manager gives you a fantastic... Here's one simple trick that I use to expose the slackers in my business. First, I wait until we... Ted Bundy was an evil, twisted serial killer who did unthinkable things to women. Here's what we can learn from him to be better in our corporate careers. Learning number 1, compassion. Ted faked compassion to help lure and manipulate his victims into helping him achieve his goals. We should show great care to others in the workplace, especially those that can influence our careers, even if we don't actually care. The more they trust us, the more value we can extract from them later. Just don't murder them like Ted did. Learning 2, ambition. Ted thought he was superior and entitled to everything. The first step up the rungs of the corporate ladder is to believe you're better than everyone else and you deserve it more than everyone else. Just don't murder them like Ted would have. Learning 3, professionalism.
Ted hid his dark side behind a mask of sanity. A squeaky clean appearance and reputation will prevent others from knowing your true nature, which hopefully isn't murdering like Ted's was. Ted Bundy was an evil twist.
I'm still gonna like that one.
There are only two ways that we can overcome racism in the workplace. We have the option to work together to come to a mutual understanding that racism is a poison that divides us, that dehumanizes us, that denies us our full potential as a species. We can treat it as a problem that affects us all no matter where we come from or who we are. We can learn from each other, respect each other, and celebrate our diversity. Here's the problem with the yearly bonus system in the corporate world. It doesn't work. You can't expect employees to be motivated 12 months a year when their only incentive comes around Christmas. That's why I've come up with a new system, a better system, a reverse bonus system. Studies have shown time and time again that the fear of losing something is a better motivator than the hope of gaining something. And the fear of losing money, Motivation City, baby. I let my team know their potential maximum bonus at the start of the year. Then I meticulously record every mistake, error, and offense they make through the year. I use a spreadsheet to track all this, and I subtract the corresponding amount from their bonus. So you are late to work on January 5th, you missed my Zoom call on January 17th,
A few moments later.
and then on December 17th you use Comic Sans in that presentation. Disgusting. So how'd I do this year? You owe me $4,000. Here's the problem with the yearly bonus
Dang.
system in the corporate world. It doesn't work. You can't expect employees. When it comes to business, perception is reality. Ow. That's why when you want to spread rumors around the office to destroy one of your rivals, you need to do it smartly and subtly. First of all, you never want to seem like you're the person that started the rumor. You're just broadly passing on some information that you heard. Hey, have you heard the news about Bob? No, I haven't. What is it? Secondly, make sure to use a quantifier like supposedly or allegedly. This makes the rumor sound more credible and, more importantly, protects you from slander. Apparently, he's running an illegal mahjong gambling ring from his home. At least that's what people are saying. Oh my god, that's crazy! And thirdly, layer one more detail on top that's not quite as bad as the original rumor. Since you've already smeared Bob with the worst rumor, this last little bit will be taken as fact. That's probably why he's always making excuses for missing deadlines. Makes sense. When it comes to business, perception is reality. Look, I'm not saying child labor is a good thing. Nobody in their right mind would say that. An 11-year-old girl working in a Bangladeshi factory 10 hours a day is an absolute tragedy. But what I am saying is when your corporate compliance department cancels your contract with that very factory, you're not helping anyone. You're hurting everyone. You're hurting Halima, who loses her only way to feed and support her family. She could end up in a worse job or no job at all. She might starve, get sick, or something even worse. You're hurting the factory and everyone in Bangladesh as well, denying them the opportunity to help get that country out of poverty so they don't need child labor anymore. And you're hurting me. I'm gonna lose my big bonus because that contract was very lucrative. Look, I'm not saying... As a successful white man, I know my privilege and success has come at the cost of others. But I often worry young white men in this country don't see it the same way. That they see diversity in the workplace as some sort of threat, when really it's an opportunity. So I thought this is how I trick my team into paying for my lunch and make them love me for it. I always volunteer to organize the team lunches and pick the restaurants. This makes me look like a leader and a team player. Now, when we go out, I don't have to pay for their meals. I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to bribe them or buy their love like my scumbag dad used to do. What my team don't know is I always book these lunches using discount apps. Hi, yes, we have a booking for 8 for Tom. Yes, Tom, you had the Groupon booking. Yes, we're a group with one booking. When it comes to pay, I just tell my team, split bills are so annoying for a restaurant. I'll just pay and I'll let you know what you owe me. They get to enjoy a great team lunch and I get to pocket the discount. Everybody wins. This is how I trick my team into paying. Do you have an awful task you need to get done, but you know if you try to delegate it, your employees are going to get upset with you? This magical little technique will get your employees doing the work you don't want to and be grateful for it. It's called the door-in-face technique. This is where you prime them with a task that's so awful, anything in comparison seems pretty good. First thing to do, make up some completely ridiculous piece of work that you know is outside of their capabilities. Then ask them to do it. Oh, Joe, just the man I was looking for. The business needs a new Power BI dashboard for the insurance claims process, and they need it by Friday. I've never used Power BI, and I didn't even know we did insurance. Are you sure we do that? Oh, geez, how can we make this work? How can we make this work? Look, I'll take care of it, but I need to free up my diary. Do you mind just taking care of the Penske file? Due Friday, mate. Oh, yeah, definitely. I can do that for you, boss. No worries. Oh, you know me, Joe. I'm always happy to jump on the grenade for you, but you owe me one, mate. Do you know how much free money people get for having a baby? In some countries, weeks, months, or even a year worth of wages is paid to them. Why should you be discriminated against? Just because you choose not to make another planet-destroying resource sucker. Making a fake family is the easiest thing in the world, especially as a bloke, because you don't even need to get pregnant. And don't worry, no one will ever question you, because what sort of psychopath would make up a fake family? All you need to do is go into image generation AI, rub that spot around your arms out, and write man with baby. Boom, 48 weeks pay. If you're a woman, do the exact same thing just a month earlier with the word pregnant. Do you know how much free money people get? When you're making a product recommendation to the business, don't waste time trying to understand the business need. Just purchase the most expensive solution. In every scenario, you come out on top.
Scenario 1, it's the best product.
As it's the most expensive product, it probably has the most features. More features means more chances for it to meet the business need that you don't understand anyway.
Scenario 2, a cheaper product is better.
If it doesn't meet the requirements and it turns out to be a mess, you can swoop in like the hero you are and recommend a cheaper product, saving the business money.
Scenario 3, the business ignores your recommendation.
If the business ignores your recommendation and goes for a cheaper product in the first place, your hands are clean. I told you it wouldn't work. I knew we should have gone with Tableau. And that's why when you're making a product recommendation to the business, don't waste time trying to understand. The only thing worse than a boring employee town hall is having to listen to the dumb questions afterwards. Avoid being these people.
Number 1, the suck up.
Yes, please, me. Oh my God, what you've shared is so amazing. I am in awe of your vision. Can you just tell me, how do you do it?
Number 2, the ultra specific.
This one's for the CTO. Citrix isn't working on my VPN. I raised a Jira ticket 2 days ago. Can you give me an update, please?
Number 3, the I'm the main character.
I just want to say that you running this company is sort of like me running a household with my 2 kids. You know, although I guess running the company isn't that hard.
Number 4, the loaded question.
With it being a rough year so none of us get bonuses, how come the entire management team was in Bali last week having an offsite? Do you actually have a question, ma'am? Oh yes, here's my question. How do you sleep at night? The only thing worse than a You can't just go and hit on the hot girl in the office. You'll get a HR complaint raised against you. Again. Hey Sally, that dress looks amazing on you. Ugh. Instead, make sure you compliment multiple co-workers. So instead of looking like a pervert, you're just eccentric. Hey John, love the haircut. Thanks, boss. Hey Sally, that dress looks amazing on you. Oh, thank you. And Joe, you know exactly what you're doing, and it's working. You can't just go and hit on the hot girl in the office. Here's how
Are
you
you
can
sure about
sabotage
that?
your enemies in the workplace. First, you gotta be really patient and wait until you have the perfect email to send them. Something that's really important to the business and that they need to be prompted by you to do. Be very specific on the detail about what you need done and when you need it by. John, this potential client could cost us millions. Can you get the Penske file done by Friday? Add your boss and their boss to the CC and put it in your drafts ready to go. Next time you're both in the office, sit right next to the person. Joe, good to see ya. Hi, Tom. At some point, they'll get up from their desk to make themselves a cup of tea or go to the toilet and probably leave their computer unlocked. This is where you pounce. Once they're out of eyesight, send the email to them, go in their computer, mark it as read, and file it away. At about 4 p.m. on Friday, send them a follow-up email asking for an update, CCing in both your bosses. Not only have you made them look completely incompetent, they're going to have to waste their weekend trying to catch up. Here's how you can sabotage your enemy. The best way to improve your relationship with your employees is a technique called tribalism. Next time you're chatting with one of them and they say something even
I'm here at Metcalfe's. Murder explained to kids for kids. Murdering your colleagues can serve as a great tool in the workplace. Hello, everyone. I'm trying to change my shoes right now. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just getting my mama soda. I'm going back out to grab my chips, maybe. I'll probably end the live soon. I'll be right back, viewers. Hey, sorry viewers, but I'm off. Kinda got bored. See you guys. I'll see you guys later.